Hello, my friends, and welcome to Kitsune Readings, where your questions find answers. Hello, everyone. Ryu here. Today, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite games on the OG Xbox. This is called Dungeons and Dragons Heroes. It's one of my favorite styles of games, action RPGs. There's the old school Xbox intro screen. You know, the original Xbox had its own hard drive and was the first console of its kind to do so. My other favorite games like this were Champions of Norath, Baldur's Gate, The Dark Alliance 1 and 2. These games were excellent. Watch the opening. Been a while since I've played the original Xbox. Start a new game. I already did a run through as the dwarf on my live stream. I think this was from D&D 3.5. I wanted to make a video about an OG Xbox game for a while. Might need to turn up the sound just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that should work. The original Xbox is the best Xbox. You could even put your own music in some of the games. I feel like the newer Xboxes are a downgrade. We died as great heroes, and we're being resurrected to save the world again.
These are the heroes who defeated Caden before?
They are, Your Excellency. Pardon the question, but do you think they might be...
This is a game I've struggled to find. I consider it quite rare. I haven't even seen many copies of it for sale online. I just happened to get lucky at a retro game store. human fighter, the halfling rogue, the elven wizard, and the dwarf. Alright, elf wizard it is. We'll name her Foxy. Whoops. My bad. Oh! I hit the wrong button. Alright. Skip the opening this time. Oops. There's only capital letters in this. There we go. You know, there's a few modern versions of these kinds of games that have come out. I like the console ones, personally. Plus, the modern ones that came out for the PC on Steam, they're digital only, and you can't own them. You know I don't like digital games. After all, why should you pay for something you're not allowed to own? That doesn't make logical sense. Anyway, here we are in the crypts. We got resurrected. Time to go smiting evil as a mighty elven sorceress. The graphics are pretty good for the time that this game was made. I would say Baldur's Gate, The Dark Alliance 1 and 2, and Champions of Norath are much better than this one. This one is still pretty good though, and I'm glad I get to share it with you. Let's see. We got Magic Missile. Gust of Wind. Alright, let's see. Save the game. And I believe the back button is our status screen. Now, your ancestral weapon upgrades as you collect these rune things. I like that you can have a sorceress that wears plated armor. It's pretty funny. It's always good to look for hidden items and things like that before moving on. Alright, skeleton key. Oop. Throwing daggers. Yeah, well, yeah, maybe I'll do the tutorial so you can see what it's like. There's no real need to do that, though. You can just walk over items to pick them up. Oh yeah, Yeah, so this lets us switch our abilities. Now, the other games, right, have a ability wheel, which this one does not. So, the other ones, Dark Alliance 2, Baldur's Gate, Champions of Norath, much better. This game is just okay. I love action RPGs, and this one is great. The other two are much better. The Xbox, I feel, was known more for action and racing games, much like Sega, as opposed to RPGs. Which is why the PS2 arguably fared much better than the original Xbox. You know, there's some PlayStation games like Shadow Hearts that I learned only work on specific versions of the PlayStation 2. Isn't that terrible?
Before you go, I must tell you about the Soul Shards. In your final battle with Caden, he cast a curse upon the weapon you now hold.
Things like that would make me an ex-bro. The first, like me and my brother, we missed out on the PlayStation 2 in its initial release. So we got an Xbox because we didn't know what it was and we wanted to check it out. And the only game we ever played together on it, aside from this, was Halo. A lot of my friends called the original Xbox the Halo box.
Needed in bail. Please, leave him alone.
These were very good graphics for the time this came out, too. Like, the graphics in this game are much superior and better than the other two, in my opinion. The original Xbox was a more powerful console than the PS2. And a lot of the Xbox exclusive games at that time could run way better on the Xbox than anything produced on the PS2. Some PS2 games looked really good, like Final Fantasy X. Had some gorgeous graphics and effects, but the original Xbox, hardware-wise, was still superior. The black and white buttons are my potions. Right, the L button is our block button. And every time we collect 5 of the magical runes, our ancestral weapon upgrades and we get stats. So it's really the only weapon you'll be equipping throughout the whole game. don't know how it works. Looking for secret areas is always important because you want to make sure you find as many of the ancestral runestones as possible to upgrade your weapon. You get different items you can throw at enemies, like the Thunderstones. I don't usually ever use those. They're good to have, though. Classic games are so much better. No DLC. Our games were complete games. No microtransactions. The golden age of gaming. That's what this represents. If you have an original Xbox and you want to have some fun and have another game worth having besides, you know, Halo, this is one of them.
I was hoping someone would come along. I've seen more hobgoblins today than I saw in all of last year's raiding season. Best I can tell, they're after the Ankh of Evernear, but it can't fall into their hands. If you secure the Ankh for me, I'll show you the way out and point you toward Castle Bale. All you have to do is get rid of those nasty creatures.
They had some truly amazing video games back then. This one definitely being one of my favorites. There was like the Jade Empire and Sudeki and things like that. I've always loved making videos, showing off the many strange games in my collection, of which this is definitely one of them. just gonna gain a level. You push in the right thumbstick and you get your little mini map here. Very important. I'm gonna make sure that we get everything. Missing stuff sucks. There's a lot to do and explore in these games. And I miss having games like this one. Retro gaming at its finest. If you like RPGs or action RPGs, this one's definitely worth your time. Alright, we gained a level. We've gained 6 HP and 11 mana. Select a trait to improve. We can get Burning Hands. I usually take Burning Hands. Now, Burning Hands is basically a blowtorch. You can take stuff out really fast with it. Obviously gets better when we upgrade it with points. Those fountains restore your life. The blue fountains, of course, restore mana. There's that mana fountain. Not ready to go up to the middle crypts yet. I'm not done exploring. I don't think there were very many first-party titles that people played on the original Xbox. The only one I really remember is Halo, because everyone and their grandma was playing Halo Combat Evolved. Now, Halo went downhill, of course, after Bungie left. Yeah, I think we've explored everything. Go up a level now. The hidden areas are somewhat easy to spot. I'd have to look up a guide to remember where all the secret areas are.
Wondered when you'd be by. I thought the hobgoblins would carry off all my things. They didn't leave much, but if it'll help get rid of them, I'll sell you what I have. Of course, there's a big store in Castle Vale, but in the meantime, you can get what you need from me. I won't be here long, though, but I promise I'll find you after you get the Ankh. Need something?
Buy that leather armor. Get rid of those. Get rid of those. She doesn't really need throne items. I'll keep those.
Still got a few things left.
The way their armor changes when they equip it is also pretty cool. I like this game a lot. This is Dungeons and Dragons Heroes.
Still got a few things
A game
left.
I'd recommend playing if you get the chance. see if we can get the whole set here. Oh, oops. Just can't get the level of that leather helmet. Saw one of those. Don't really need that, so we'll sell that. Don't really need those, we'll get rid of that. Get rid of a couple of these.
Still got a few things left. Need something?
And now we have a helmet as well. There we go. Now she's fully geared in leather armor. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. I love you guys. I will see you all again very soon. You can and you will achieve your dreams, my friends. Have a great day, and I hope you like seeing Dungeons and Dragons Heroes. I will see you all again very soon, my friends.